fat sort of little pair of pliers. He wasn't strong enough. So I went, I had to go. I said, well, we both do it. So we both put our hands on it, and we managed to crush the pipe, flatten the pipe, cut it off. He put a little thing on the end of it so it wouldn't leak. Right? I went, great. I said, how much is that? He went, 180 quid. So I went, right, okay. So I wrote him out a cheque for 180 quid, and I thought, I'll have a little bit of sarcasm. So it wasn't his idea. I helped him do it. I went, how much was that tool? He went, about £5. I went, that's paid for itself, isn't it? Silence. He went, yep, just nothing, tough crowd.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Right. So I signed the cheque. Like, he went, oh, he said, I forgot to charge you for the little washer on the end. I went, how much is that? He went, £2.50. I went, can I give you that in cash? He went, yeah. I went, there you go, there's the £2.50 for the washer on the end. And that was it. I didn't even get a little chuckle. He didn't even think. He should have gone, well, let's split that, because we both did that. Yeah, that's 90 quid each. I go, okay, that's brilliant, mate, cheers. It's a Christmas bonus. I have a fascinating tale to tell you, Carl. I think you'll be intrigued. When I do junkets for films in America or Toronto Film Festival, I was assigned a security, and I've had security before. I often have security. They just sort of get you in and out of the car, and usually just to control sort of autograph hunters and things. But this time I was given a security, and he came in a suit. He looks about 30. He looked quite unassuming. I thought he was from just a security firm, and there was a couple of them. And first of all, they were talking to each other, and I thought, wow, the stakes are higher here. I don't know. I don't know why. And they drove us to the hotel, and there was loads of people going to the hotel. I mean, much bigger stars than me. You know, there was Ed Norton and George Clooney, and they were going in and out. And he goes, we can go past these. And he called ahead, and he knew everyone. He just knew everyone. And we went down in the car park. We were met by another security guard in the hotel that let us go past everyone. I mean, Clooney's having to queue up and sign. I'm thinking, this is weird. And I also feel a bit guilty because I was there to promote the film, and I think this security guard's so good, I'm never going to ever have to pump into anyone. It was amazing. And they was there the next day, and he took us to the junket and back, and he put us on the thing, and then it turned out that he was actually LAPD, who was doing this for celebrities because he earned more money. And then I found out he had a gun, so I can't come in the airport with you, I can't take my gun. So he's armed. So I've got a security who's an APD who's armed, and I'm fascinated. Now I'm fascinated. This man is walking around with me with a little earpiece, talking to everyone. He seems to know everyone, and he's got a gun. I think, oh, this is amazing. Then one night he said, he dropped me off at the hotel, and he said, I've actually been called, I've got to go on a mission, they need my help. I said, well, what is it? He said, it's a hostage situation. He said, and I'm also SWAT. So now this is amazing. He's now officially the coolest man I've ever met in my life. So he goes off. Then I'm thinking, I'm worried about him. I was talking to Jane, I was thinking, wow, he does this, he gets this extra cash, he's risking his life, and now he's going to a hostage situation. And I was thinking, oh God, he's just a silent hero. So next day he goes, how was it? He said, I was fine. He said, I just turned up. He said, I had to do it in my suit. He said, because I'm the negotiator.
What?
So now he's an armed security guard who's an LAPD, who's special SWAT, and he's one of 9 negotiators in LA. We're in LA now. We've come from Toronto, went via New York and LA. So I went, oh my God. And I just asked him questions for 2 hours. So the first thing that happens is, so someone runs in with a hostage. This guy, who's just a kid, who was 19, he'd done a robbery. He'd panicked and he'd run away. The police were after him. He ran in and he took his kid with him. It was just a 3-year-old kid. Okay, that often happens. Most hostages that people take are their family because it's all they've got, and they go, I'm going to kill my wife or my kid, and they don't mean it. They're not going to, but they need a hostage. They've got a gun. So he talks to them and he says things to them like, you know, you didn't mean this to happen, did you? They're like, no, I just did. He said they got out of hand. It just got out of hand, and he has to let them trust him because they've got a hatred for the police. Of course, they don't trust the police now. And the first thing he does is call the phone company and say, what's the number of this address? He goes, change it by 1 digit. So now only he can call that number, because of course you can't have an engaged signal. If they haven't got a phone, they have to throw a phone through a window. So they've got to have contact with this guy. I said, what happens if this guy says, you're never going to get me out, I'm going to kill all the hostages? He said, then my sole purpose is to get him to stand near a window. I went, wow. Now apparently there's a police marksman ready, of course, if they think they've lost him. The important thing is you've got to take him out, because you've got to protect the innocent. So how they shoot him is they shoot him in the top lip, and it takes out the brainstem, so there's no reflex. And I'm just being absolutely I'm captivated. What do you think of that, Carl, as a job? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, once you've done one, though, it's like any job, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah.
Once you've done one.
Yeah,
Not impressed?
Boring, yeah.
No, it's good.
Could you do it? Do you reckon you could do it? Do you reckon you could negotiate someone out of a hostage situation?
Well, I
with your
think in one of
dulcet
them
tones?
things, there's nothing you can do. It's like, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, because
Well, it
you
does.
did your bit. No, it's like being a vet, isn't it?
Not really. Not really, because that's a ridiculous thing to say.
It's nothing like being like a vet.
No, it is. What I mean is, you're expected to make the little kitten live.
No, there's loads of it. Because I was saying, so he says, I need a car by 5 o'clock, or I'm going to kill someone. He then makes sure that he doesn't kill anyone, but he makes sure that car doesn't come till 5:15. Even if it's there, he keeps going, it's on its way, because then the hostage knows that he's not in control, really. Even if it's as easy as saying, I want my wife here, and he can get her there at 5, he makes sure she doesn't turn up till 5:20.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that that's just absolutely fascinating. The psychology of it is just amazing.
But he's not bothered, is he? If
He
it's
is
15
bothered.
minutes late.
He is, because he really takes a bit, he empathises with these guys, and he says, no, you've got to understand.
No,
He
but the
says-
fella in the house with the gun,
yeah.
he's not going anywhere. 15 minutes to either side doesn't matter. Well, why is he in a rush?
I don't think Carl's getting how
Not sure
important
he is.
how
No,
amazing
not
he
sure
is.
You said
Yeah.
they make the car 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
He's getting his car. That
Yeah,
bloke's not in a rush.
He's never going to get in the car, is he? That's the other thing as well, because once a bloke said to him, I need a car, and he just went, where are you going to go? And the bloke went, yeah, forget that. He has to make them forget their deadlines and their demands. So soon it doesn't matter. And he has to get in their head. But to do that, he says that he has to empathise with them to a certain extent. He has to understand why they're doing it, to talk to them and go, yeah, you've had a bad day. That would send anyone. But he has to get their trust. Carl, try and talk me out. You think it's that easy? Right, I've got a hostage situation, right? Done a crime. I've run in the building. They go, there's only one person we can ask for. Get me Carl Pilkington. Okay, you turn up. Right, what's your
So
question?
you've asked for me to deal with this.
No. The police know that you're their top man. And there's a guy in here. He's got a gun. He's got a hostage. Okay, he's just done a crime. They don't know what to do. Okay. Right. You turn up. What's your first question to the?
I'm talking to you.
Well, no, you got to
Right,
assess.
I'd say right. I think there's a saying. Actually, you say, "Where's brass?" Right.
Right.
I found that out. I heard that. I overheard that.
What's that?
It was something.
You're wasting time. Who's that bull cunt that's just turned up? I'm gonna fucking
Listen,
kill it.
right, where's brass?
What does it mean?
I heard it at school when they.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking
Not
about.
just you.
It means I heard someone use it on the.
Well, I don't know what the fuck it means.
It
All I
means
know-
the top person
Right.
of the police are around at the moment.
Yeah, well, you talked on the fucking top brass here. I've got a fucking gun against this kid's head. Who the fuck are you bald little shithead? Where's my car?
What car?
I've asked for a car. Where's my fucking car? Am I talking to you now, am I?
Yes, you are.
Are you the negotiator?
Yeah.
Right. Get me a fucking car.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, I'm fucking sore from shouting. Fire the phone through the window so I can talk to you over the phone.
No. All right. In a minute.
Don't ever fucking say no to me.
In a minute. I said.
Okay. Right, the clock's going. Where's this fucking
Right,
phone?
listen,
I've got a
just
sore
hang on a
throat.
minute.
I've got a
Listen.
sore throat. I can't talk anymore with that phone.
I've been called up here.
I can't hear you. I need the
I've been
phone.
called up here
Yeah, can you go to put the phone through? Why are you putting the phone through, you dopey cunt? You want to talk to him?
because I don't want to give you a phone straight away. You said you've got to delay him.
No, you've got to talk to them. You shouldn't even demand a phone. You should make sure you've got a phone, you dopey twat.
Give him a phone.
Right, thanks. Alright, how's it going? That's better.
Right.
Who are you, by the way? Who are you? Bruce.
I can't give you them details.
Well, you can, because I've got to trust you, dopey sod. Are you police, or just some fucking cunt walking by?
I'm a policeman.
Right, I don't trust policemen.
No, but I'm a bit higher than that. So listen.
Or don't you tell me I'm laying down the law here.
Oh,
I'm
listen.
going to shoot someone unless I get a fast car. I've done a robbery. It's all gone wrong. You're having now, but I want a car to the airport or on a plane standing by.
You don't know me, but I do this a lot. Right? And I can tell you that it never works out right. Do you know anyone who's done what you're doing and is now living a happy life?
Well, I don't care. I don't care about living anyway. I don't care about living out. I don't care if this goes wrong because I'm going to shoot the hostage.
What's your problem?
I'll just. I think you've got the wrong attitude, mate. I think you've got the wrong attitude here.
No, but this is, to be honest with you, this was my last week.
Why are you telling him that?
Because I want to bring him down to my level.
Right. What's that got to do with it?
Well, you know, I've done this job for a long time.
Right.
Sometimes I felt like you. I've
Right.
been, you know, even though I'm on this side,
Hmm.
you know, sometimes I feel like, oh, I've had enough of this.
Right, well, I haven't enough. But I'll tell you, I don't care about living or dying here. So if I don't get a car to the airport, all bets are off. I'm killing everyone and then myself. So you'll be a big loser. You will be a big loser, son. There you go. I'll give you the clue now, Carl. He doesn't care about getting away with it. Now you've got to get him to stand near a window. You've got to take him out because I've got a gun to someone's head. You can't burst in, right? You've got what? Come on. How do you get him to stand near a window?
Oh, I bet you're hot in there.
Keep going. I am hot. Yeah, that's why I've just drawn the curtains and keep away from the window because the sun's blazing in. It's not too bad away from the window.
It's, the sun's gone round the back now. Just come and have a look. It's a lovely, lovely evening.
Why do you want me to stand near a window?
I think just because when you see how nice an evening it is,
Worst load of drivel ever.
Keep going, how interesting. When you see how lovely
no,
it
it's
is.
that thing. I've heard that if you smile, you feel better. So have a little smile. Think of a happy moment in your life.
I'll tell you what a happy moment in my life would be. Putting a bullet through your little round head, you cunt.
Keep thinking about that image,
Right.
and you can see that round head. Just come to the window. I'll show you the round head.
That would probably work, actually.
What? No, I'm not going to come near the window. You come near the window. You come near my window. Have you come? Are you coming near the window?
No, not yet.
What?
Delaying it again. Right, I'm coming near the window.
Well, I'm going to shoot you if you come near the window, you dopey prat.
Well, why? I thought we were getting somewhere here.
No, I'm going to shoot you. I've conned you. I've negotiated you to come near the window, and I'm going to shoot you in the head, you prat.
I'll just leave then.
Well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the Ricky Gervais Guide to Law and Order. The next one in the series is the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Future, which is out on the 29th of December. Me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Goodbye.
and Carl Pilkington.
Audible hopes you have enjoyed this program.
This is Audible.
Hello, I'm Ricky Gervais. To some, society is a cage trapping and oppressing free-thinking individuals. but to others society offers essential structure and regulation, preventing anarchy and the worst excesses of human behaviour. Each society has its own codes of conduct, ways of doing things, but who decides these social norms, and how are they governed? From the formative democracy of ancient Greece to the communist totalitarianism of Soviet Russia, history has shown us that there are as many forms of society as there are people to populate them. To discuss society and our place within it, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, award-winning writer and graduate of the University of Warwick.
Hello.
And Carl Pilkington. You know the score, little round-headed twat.
Right.
In ancient Greece, every year 500 people would be selected from that Grecian society, and they would have to sit there that year, and they would propose laws, and everyone else would vote on them, and that was their obligation. They were obliged to be one of that 500, if they'd been on jury duty, called up, and then they had to propose their ideas, and then the rest of the citizens voted on it. Now, if you're in that position, right, you're called up, what rules and laws are you instigating?
You might go, right, I want an egalitarian society. I want freedom for people. I don't want slavery. I don't want any sort of oppression. Would that be high on your list?
Well, you could say, you know, when I worked at Cordon Bleu, there was times when I thought, being treated like a slave here.
You weren't though, because you were being paid and you were free. So.
What do you mean? I wasn't free. I was on like from 9 till 6.
You had the choice to leave the job. Slaves didn't have the choice to leave. They wouldn't go. They go.
I didn't have any choice.
Actually, Mr. Jackson, I'm thinking of leaving your employment.
No,
the money's no good, and I don't like the clothings.
No.
They didn't have that choice.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you did.
The only other choice was Tesco, and they'd already turned me down.
No, that's not. That wasn't the lack of choice given to most slaves.
But the slaves who built the pyramids, that wasn't an option for them. It wasn't like they could go and, right, I could get a better gig on the Sphinx.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, you're not saying anything. You're saying absolute drivel again.
Here's a little Greek proverb for you. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in.
What do you think of that? That's amazing.
Can you say it again?
Say it again.
A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. Do you understand?
Yeah. Just saying, they're planting a seed, they grow a tree, but trees take ages.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
That old fella's not going to get any joy out of that.
Right.
But if he's lucky,
Yeah.
fella next door might have done the same years ago. So it's all about sort of planting a seed, looking after each other.
That's great, actually. It's not. I don't think it's directly
It's
what it
almost,
means.
it's almost the point.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I think he means that future generations. But yeah, if the next door neighbour had done that, then yeah, that works as well.
But you seem to agree that that's a good point. Do you agree that seems a good point to you?
But I'm sort of guessing he enjoyed gardening anyway. Part of the enjoyment was in planting that seed.
It's the old metaphor problem again, isn't
I know,
it?
yeah.
It's not specifically about trees. You know, you plant the tree, as you say, and you may never see the beauty of or the benefit of that tree, but other people will.
But as a metaphor, what he enjoyed is the fact that he's added to society and human life, and he's got a legacy and all that.
But by the same time, when I went to Ibiza, right, now there they have motorbikes, people flying around on them, people don't wear helmets. You might even get 3 people on a moped. I saw a farmer with a goat in a basket. They don't care. They're whizzing around at high speeds. A lot of deaths there.
Yeah.
And they'll have a lot of them see those areas where someone's come off, been killed, people put flowers there.
Yeah.
And because that happens a lot, it's a lovely green island. Now here, we're saying,
You're saying that all the deaths make it nice because there's
makes
flowers.
it lovely.
There's loads of flowers
So
everywhere.
with death comes beauty. So that's another metaphor, you can have that one.
That was one of the most tortuous things I've ever... That was extraordinary.
But look at London.
That was extraordinary, Carl.
Right, Carl.
Well, look at London, though. Let me finish my point.
Let him finish his point. I'm intrigued.
Right, London, councillor with his clipboard, need a speed bumper, I saw someone doing 35. Put some traffic lights there and a pedestrian crossing. Pelican crossing there as well. And a speed camera.
Right.
Horrible and grey. No flowers.
But you still see flowers left behind where people have died in terrible accidents.
Not
You
many
see that all
good
the
ones.
time.
They stuck to a lamppost with elastic band round them. They don't look nice.
He's known the quality of flowers. Yeah, but the point is
Some 15-year-old got run down and you're disappointed at the quality of the flowers.
Look at this, Suzanne. Fella lost his head here. Geraniums fella lost bloody head.
That's so
We
weird.
have
That's
to,
funny
we
you
have
say
to
that,
encourage
though.
gun crime so that people will get shot in inner cities, and then we can put flowers up and beautify the area. Is that
No,
what
but
you're
if an
saying?
area's nicer to look in, nicer to be in, if it's nicer looking, you don't get people speeding around like lunatics. Because they go, I'm not in a rush, I'd quite like to slow down
This
there and
is
look
so
at the flowers.
complicated. So now what you're saying is because an area is grey and gloomy, people speed around to get out of it. In the course of doing that, they knock people down, but then flowers are put up, which then makes the area beautiful, thus stopping people driving around at speed so death no longer occurs.
Well, they're cute to getting out of their cars to put down flowers. And
then they get knocked down.
Yeah.
Or other people on their way to put some flowers down.
yeah.
Just sometimes people have to die, don't they? There was a fella outside our house who had a lamppost. He had a helmet on, but his head come off.
You made me laugh at a man's head coming up because the way you said it.
But that's the thing.
he had a, oh God!
There's a man who died in a house. He had a lamppost. He had a helmet on, but his head come off.
So you're saying that because in that one instance, the helmet did not save his life.
His head was in great condition. It's just not attached to his body. And that's what I'm saying to you. Sometimes people have to die. How far do you take all this stuff of you know, safety gear and slowing down and wear bright clothes at night, and it's just too much.
Very important point, you see. We give people crash helmets. We give them, you know, seat belts. We make them wear that, right? Do you think that's right for a start? Do you think someone should be made to wear a crash helmet? They're only hurting themselves.
Crash helmet. I don't think you should get fined for not wearing one. But
Right.
then if you come off a motorbike and you hurt your head and you didn't have a helmet on, then you can't sort of go, well, they should have had speed bumps there. I
it's-
didn't realise we were going too fast.
Don't forget, we're not just protecting him. He could be a father with 2 kids. So you're going, oh, let him. If he doesn't want to wear a crash helmet, let him get brain damage. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, we're over the top in this country.
No, but
when it comes
you're
to that
saying
sort
if
of
you're
thing.
saying no, if he doesn't want to wear a crash helmet, let him not wear a crash helmet. He doesn't wear a crash helmet. He comes off his bike. He smacks his head in. He's a vegetable. He's like that, sitting at home like that. And yet the 2 little kids come to you. You're in charge. Don't forget. We put you in charge of society here. And they come to you. 2 little kids. They go, President Pilkington,
What?
why did you let my daddy not wear the crash helmet?
I didn't. We paid. We put leaflets through the door. We had adverts on the telly, Sunshine.
Yeah, but
It's
why?
your dad's fault.
But why wasn't it compulsory? Because he wanted.
It's not the way we live in, Sonny.
Now I haven't got a daddy.
Has he got an helmet at all? Have you seen an helmet knocking about?
Yeah, he's a vegetable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to wear a crash helmet, but why didn't you make him wear a crash helmet? It wasn't just him, it was us. Why did you turn my daddy into a vegetable?
Where's your mum?
Mum left when he kept going on about not wearing a crash helmet.
We put you in a home. I just think, you see, this is the problem. Everyone's looking for someone to blame.
Yes, but this is interesting though because you were particularly callous to that little 4-year-old boy. He seemed
Yeah.
so sweet and adorable.
Yeah.
But why wasn't he giving this stick to his dad?
Well, his dad's a
dad's
vegetable.
He's dead.
He's good as dead to him.
His dad went within the law. It was not the law to wear a crash helmet anymore because you said, forget it, I don't want a nanny state. I don't want, if you wear a crash helmet or not. He wasn't a responsible parent. He hadn't thought it through. But this is your job. Some people aren't responsible. Society keeps them on track. This was you were in charge. You should have made him wear a crash helmet. He had 2 kids.
We've heard from one of the kids. What's the other one's actually? Is he younger?
He's a bit younger.
Is he even younger still?
Yeah.
President Pilkington. My brother's crying now because you shouted at him. I wish you'd have made my daddy wear a crash helmet.
Why didn't you make your daddy wear a crash helmet?
Well, he won't listen to me because I'm not in
He
charge
didn't
of
listen to
society.
me.
Yeah,
He seems like a bit of a numbnut, to be
no, he
honest.
did listen to you.
What did he
because
do
you
for
made
a
a new
living?
rule saying people don't have to wear crash helmets.
Right.
And he listened to you.
Did he pop shoes on in the morning when he went out? Or did
Yeah.
he need to be here to tell him to do that as
No,
well?
there's certain
Oh,
things
so he
that
has got
people-
some common sense then.
Well, he's not, yeah.
Oh, right, interesting. So he can be bothered with his trainers, but he can be bothered with helmet.
I haven't got a daddy.
Jesus.
Wow, you are cruel to this kid. You
It's
are
just,
mean
this
spirit
all
to
I'm
this
saying
kid.
is, there should be a leaflet.
I don't even know how he got in number 10, this little kid.
The thing is,
But he's got in. You should have at least the courtesy to listen to his point.
forget all, I'm sick and tired of having adverts on the telly. Don't smoke, wear an helmet, slow down, watch your kidneys, look after your
I
liver.
haven't seen that one.
Now, I don't know why. Why can't they just put a leaflet through saying, hello everyone, use your common sense?
Yeah,
That's all I'm asking. That's what I take
Because
out
some
of
people don't
president.
have common sense.
Everyone's got
People
common
are
sense.
fucking idiots.
Yeah,
mate.
It's not my fault
That's
then.
why. That's
Not
why
my
there is a
fault.
government. If we let people, well, they'd be fucking idiots. They'd be eating turkey Twizzlers and fucking watching Big Brother and X Factor all
But they are
day,
doing. They are
and they're
doing.
letting their kids run riot in
But
the
they are
street.
doing. Some families do just eat turkey Twizzlers.
Yeah.
There is little knobheads on bikes playing out till God knows what
Exactly.
hour. So it's happening anyway.
But
Yeah,
then-
but that's no argument, is it? It's happening anyway. That's no argument, Carl. It's what we've talked about here. Social responsibility. The reason people get into politics is because they feel it's their obligation to change those things. This is your approach. I wash my hands of the whole affair.
Yeah, I don't like the people who don't wear an helmet. Sort of they do themselves in, and that's cleared them off. That's one problem sorted.
So you think you're being Darwinian? You're thinking survival of the fittest. The idiots will suit, but they don't, because they're not just the victims. The dead person isn't the victim. It's the a very good example is okay, we've talked about it before. You know, people who smoke know that it's dangerous. We know now that smoking gives you cancer, but why is that still legal? And yet people know that and they still smoke. Fat people know that they're going to get out of breath and clammy, and yet they still eat more. They get depressed, they're eating more. They know that they're going to be constipated for a year and a half, but they're still shoving in chocolate cake instead of carrots.
But because that's what I'm saying.
Why don't we stop them? Why don't we stop fat people eating? If you've got a smackhead and you really love him, you intervene, you grab him, you put in a cupboard, you go, you're not coming out. He goes mad for about a year, then he thanks you for it.
Yeah.
So lock fat people in a cupboard. And just
Can't
put
get
carrots
in.
under the door. What?
The thing is, there's got to be some
Carl,
responsibility.
grab Ricky. There's a cupboard over there.
You've got to take some responsibility, haven't you? Now, if it's your own fat kid, stick him in your cupboard. But what I'm saying is, as a counsellor, I'm not spending taxpayers' money on cupboards to put the fat kid in.
So, back at the Chosen 500 in ancient Greece, right, you're one of them. What other things?
I like that saying, the one about do to others as you'd like to be treated yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Pop that on a leaflet, pop it through the door.
But you seem to be doing a lot of leafleting. That seems to be your entire governance seems to be guided by popping leaflets through doors. And I get a lot of leaflets, so I'm presuming the rest of the country does, and it's not always working. So maybe sometimes you've got to instigate something a little bit more strong-minded than fucking leaflets, my friend.
Yeah.
You've got to make
Also,
a couple of laws.
this
You've
thing
got to
that
stand
every
up.
individual can go, how would I want to be treated? Well, I'd want someone to throw cake at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a greedy bastard.
I would want someone to steal my telly.
I'd probably start on the way you look.
Right, go on.
I'd just say, right, make an effort, tidy up your house, and I'd have some sort of
I'm poor.
doesn't matter, you can still tidy up.
Can we get better houses then? Because
Well, look after the one that we've let you.
Yeah,
Get
it's
rid of
fallen
that
down.
old mattress that's in your garden there. Clean the windows, and then we might give you a nicer one. At the moment, you don't deserve anything nicer. And that's what I'm saying. You've got to be honest with these people. Wake them up.
I like that.
Sure, you've got to be honest with them, you've got to wake them up through the heavy leafleting campaign.
Yeah.
But do you see the problem with some of what you're saying, Carl, is that it's very hard to enforce that in
Yeah.
law because it seems unjust and unfair. You can't really start legislating against people's looks or whether they want. I mean, you have to keep your house tidy. I mean, who decides how tidy it has to be? It's the tidy police. I mean, that's a strange.
Well, hold on though. I like wearing sort of these denims. It expresses who I am, and I like wearing a beard because I just think it's natural. I don't really like shaving, and I like this sort of smell. I like this smell of BO. That's who I am as a person. So how can you impose that on me just to be part of society? Who are you to infringe my rights as an individual?
What do you want out of life?
Well, no, I think I just like to say I don't want to conform. I don't want to just shave and wear a suit and
Right.
I keep myself to myself, and I like to just grow a beard and eat porridge with my hands. I'm not hurting anyone, so I don't know why I have to conform to that society.
Well, there's nothing I can do for you. You're wasting my time. Really.
Although I do feel ill, I need to go to the hospital now. So I'm gonna go to the hospital now. If that's all right. Is there care for me?
Well, what's up with you?
I've got diseases, from like eating with my hands, and there's the things growing in my beard.
Right.
So will you clean that up for me now?
No, because it's all been brought on yourself.
Well, no, but that's irrelevant. A lot of people bring things on themselves, but you can't just like ignore them because it just pass on. It's a bad society. That's
So how do they learn then? How
I
do
don't know
they
why I'm
learn?
being punished for being stupid.
How do they learn then? I don't understand why I've got to worry about you.
I've got
Got proper ill people.
well,
You had a kid whinging at me this morning because his dad was a Hmong.
Obviously, in China, you can only have one child, can't you? Is that something you feel we should bring in here?
Yeah, I think we've got to, I don't know about one kid. I just sort of concentrate on who can have a kid. As
Okay.
opposed to, if someone's got a load of money and they're good at looking after kids, let Madonna have as many as she wants. But if it's someone who's...
but then
So social engineering, you want to do?
but hold on though.
But what
this
you've
is-
said then, if you're bringing them into a poor family, what's the point? What good is that for anyone? It's not good for the people who've had the kids.
So
it's not good
who's
for the kids who can't have
deciding
it.
who's allowed to have how many kids?
Yeah,
Are you
but
deciding?
I was brought into the poor family, wasn't I?
What?
I was brought into a poor family.
Yeah, no, I'm talking really poor.
So third world.
No,
What, poorer than that? Poorer than no money at all?
no, somewhere in the middle again. You've gone too far the other way.
Okay,
Why has it
so
always got to go the other way?
Cornwall.
I just mean like the people who I've told you about on the estate sometimes, who had that one who chased cars and stuff. He wasn't happy. They didn't care if he was there or not. What's the point?
Right. So hang on. So let's imagine
So-
that Ricky and I are husband and wife. We've come in, right? What's your questions to us to establish whether we are allowed to have a couple of kids?
Hello. Thanks for
me
coming.
and my husband, we can't have children.
Why not?
Because he's got no sperm at all.
Okay.
He had one sperm and it was too ridiculous. It was awful. It just came out like a dead anchovy.
Right.
And
What's
you're meant to have 300 million tiny ones, and he had one big one. It was horrible. I had to pull it out. It was like a leech, and also it was no. I haven't got a vagina, so there's no place to
Completely
put it.
smooth down there, like an action man.
Yeah, it was just that. I don't know, but we love children, and we wondered if we could have a child.
what do you do for a living? What do you do? What's your work?
I'm a rapist.
Right.
And I dispose of the bodies.
Right. Well, fill out this form.
I should have clarified that. A rapist murderer.
Fill out the form.
He does it in the wrong order as well, I must say. So, no, number of times I've disposed of the body, said I hadn't made that one.
I just wondered what else you need to know about us. Because even though
That was our little joke, by the way. He doesn't rate it.
I work in an office.
He works in an office in the town.
But
I'm a housewife. I
She's
think
a
that
housewife.
I'm making a little nest for when we adopt a little child.
we don't earn a great deal of money, but we're good parents.
We're
we
very
think.
good parents.
What's that based on? How
Well, we're good people, I mean, aside from a few naughty jokes.
We're God-fearing people. We believe that God is watching all of us, and we believe in the Old Testament.
And sometimes he tells us to kill and rape.
yeah, sometimes he does. Yeah, particularly. We've stoned a couple of homosexuals this week alone.
We're joking again.
We're
of
joking
course.
again.
Or
We
just a joke,
don't,
just
we
a
don't
joke.
believe in God. We're from an atheist and believe that our time on earth is all we have, and then when we die we become worms meat.
Right. Well, you filled out.
But we've already painted the back bedroom. That's ready for the little
We
child.
painted it black
Yeah.
because we want our child to be a Satanist.
Right.
Joking again.
Little joke
Joking
from us.
again.
Little
We want him to be an accountant,
Right.
gay accountant.
Some would say the same thing. Only joking, of course.
I think there's too much in society where people are pressured to be heterosexual, so we're going to try and make ours a homosexual. So we don't care whether you get a homosexual or a heterosexual, but I tell you, by the time he's 14, he will be as queer as the Ace of Spades.
Right. So you filled out the form.
Fill out the form.
Yeah. We'll put that in, get it processed.
Right.
Okay, but what kind of questions are you going to ask us?
None really.
No,
Just my job.
you're happy. You're
My
happy with
job
us.
to pass the forms
We've
on.
passed the interview.
Because that's the sort of world we live in now.
Oh God! We don't want a child. We don't want a child, actually.
But do you know where we could buy a knife?
We talked about the little fella planting a tree that he will never sit under. He's given that to the next generation. Okay? Now, big discussion about donor cards. Of course, there's no reason not to give your kidneys away. after your death. To all your organs, they're no good to you, and you'll be helping life. It's perverse to me that you wouldn't want to donate your body to a worthy cause after your death. Medical research, whatever. You agree with that, don't you?
Well, you know how I feel about it a little bit. I don't like the idea of certain bits.
Why not? What does it matter?
Just because there's certain bits that are really personal to you, aren't they?
No, there's not. What bit is more personal than another bit to you?
Well, like I've said, my eyes. They're my eyes. They see the stuff I like.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if someone else has them and they start looking at stuff I don't like? I don't like the idea of that.
But that's ridiculous, because your eyes they're just bits of tissue. They haven't got
No,
your
but we
cognitive.
don't know, because they found
do
out
know.
there's something called cellular something or other that I've told you about the person who had
Right.
some sort of operation and looked like in Yellow Biscuits. I've told you about.
Yeah, but that's bollocks.
It's the same
you
thing
told
with
us
the
about
eyes.
it, but I dismissed it as bollocks immediately.
but the-
Not just because you said
No.
it, because it was intrinsically bollocks.
No, but it could work the other way anyway, where
No.
the person who has my eyes starts like looking at ants and insects and stuff. I
Right,
might
it's all
carry on.
bollocks. Again, this is all bollocks. Got none of your memories, none of your thoughts, none of your reasoning, nothing of you, none of your personality. They're just a collection of cells that now have light going through them and making this new person see. They're a lens. They're a lens. That's all they are. So there's no reason why, this was the crazy thing, isn't it, when people started saying that they wanted their organs to go to a particular race of person, and obviously that's illegal. Also, it shouldn't be the choice, really. I think you should have that opting out, that you have to say that you don't want your organs given after, and if you die, then they assume that those organs are up for grabs, because there's a shortage. So what do you think of that?
Like I say, they can have certain bits. They're not having the eyes. I think that's fair.
What can they have, the cock and balls?
I prefer it if they didn't.
You're saying no one's going to have my eyes or my cock and bollocks.
What if
ever.
the tables were turned?
Yeah.
What if someone said, Carl, you've lost your cock and bollocks in a terrible accident. It's alright, we put some flowers at the scene of it. It's brightened that area up. But we found a donor who's happy to give you his cock and bollocks.
He's dead, but his cock and bollocks we kept on
Would
ice.
you accept them?
They're absolutely lovely match.
Better than yours.
Yeah.
Bigger, younger.
Yeah, you go on then, hold on.
You'd have
So you would you'd have someone else's cock and bollocks, but then you wouldn't donate yours to someone
But
else.
what about this? What if you discovered later, right, that the person who donated the cock and bollocks, right, was a sex pervert? was a homosexual sex pervert?
I don't think though that I'd bother looking into the history of these cock and bollocks.
You
It's
just
not
accept
like
them. You'd accept them willy nilly. But what if you just found out by
That
chance?
was his name. That was his name, willy nilly. That was his stage name. And
What
he'd
if
come
you
on and
found
show
out
him off,
by
mate.
chance?
How do I find out by chance? What's the scenario
They
there?
say, well, the doctor goes, I should tell you, I know you believe in a load of shit about Yellow Biscuits and bollocks like that, so I'll just tell you, in case anything goes weird, this was a sex pervert's cock and bollocks, so if you find that you're sticking these through letterboxes, don't worry, it's not your fault, it's where they wanted to have gone. That's
Would it concern you if you accepted the cock and bollocks that had a past like that?
Yeah, because the problem is, it wouldn't be that bad if I had his eyes,
Right.
why?
because then I'm seeing what he wants to see, and
That doesn't
that's
make
what
any sense at all,
but
Carl. It
unfortunately,
makes no sense at all.
the match is wrong. The eyes don't go with the cock and bollocks anymore. So something's going to lose out here. Either the cock and bollocks, they're not going to get what they want anymore, or the eyes are going to be upset.
So are you scared of the idea, to go back to your Yellow Biscuit analogy, that the cock and bollocks you inherit, that whatever the previous owner did with them,
Lives on.
that scares you, does it?
Okay, there's one final scenario here, Carl. Okay. You haven't opted out, so your organs go to where they like. Now, unbeknownst to you, there's a big waiting list. There's a thing they've got all your details, and you said, yeah, whatever. I don't want to know. You wouldn't want to know, would you, after you die, where it goes? You say, I don't, because you've said you don't want to know. If you don't know, you have a lovely life. When you die, they can go anywhere. They can do what they will. Okay. Now, unbeknownst to you, they have got it down. They've donated your arse, right, for use to a gay rapist with AIDS. Okay, so they are they are saving a life there. So when you die, they go, right, it's still warm, get that gay rapist with AIDS round here, because that's going to stop him raping someone and give him AIDS. He comes round, he's straight up there. He's shagging you, right? You're basically saving a life, right? By letting him do that.
Sorry, I'm confused here.
What?
Why is the gay rapist with AIDS got the arse?
He's still connected to Carl. They've donated the arse, so when Carl dies, the doctors go, right, we're going to stop a terrible thing here.
So the gay rapist can shag the arse?
Yeah, he shags, come round, stop me.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Right, so
it's just Carl's disembodied arse on the...
No, it's the whole Carl. Carl gets struck, he's having a heart attack. They go, free, clear. They go, no, we've lost him. At 10:01, they go, oh, he's an arse donor. And they go, okay, where's the nearest gay rapist with AIDS live? Next door. Get him round here. They go, okay, the gay rapist comes round and goes, where is he? Right? He goes, there he is, right? So Carl is face down. Now they turn him over, they go, there's the arse, you've got 10 minutes, then we've got to bury him.
I'm surprised you didn't know this guy was living next door.
So, the gay rapist gets on top, he goes, right, this is lovely, right? He's loving it, he's shagging you. Right, now, this is the weird thing. The doctors next door go, okay, the gay rapist will be finished soon, and then we have to bury him, but we should inform his next of kin. They go, oh, it's Suzanne. They go, your husband's dead, he's out of touch. She goes, oh my god, you come round and just identify the body. I'd leave it a couple of minutes, but then come round. She goes, oh god, I'll be right there. So Suzanne's on her way. The gay rapist, right? He's pummeling you away, right? But you will not believe this.
Oh my god.
The movement and the way he's shagging you, right, has started your heart. right?
This is a stroke of amazing good fortune.
Right? So you go, he goes, right? He, right, has a heart attack. Right? And he flops down on you. He just like headbutts the back of your head. So now, you're both naked, this gay rapist is up your arse, he's dead, right? The shock is you go, fuck me, how can I get out of this, right? You wriggle, you fall onto the floor. So now, he's on the bottom, face up, you're on top of him, he's still in you. His cock is up your arse, you're sat on him, wriggling, Suzanne walks in, goes, Carl, what the fuck are you doing?
She's heard about me being dead, and because she's come to the hospital.
She goes, and they go, he's in there, and she goes, he's not dead, I can see him. They go, oh, because it's terrible. She bursts in, there you are, on top of him, wriggling to try and get his knob out your arse, right? You're sitting on a man who's dead. What do you say?
I'd just say we got a John Booper.
Very hard, isn't it, to imagine yourself a different period in time and how you would have reacted. Now, if you think about America in the 1950s, black people still very much second-class citizens. You've obviously heard of the famous Rosa Parks incident, in which she was obliged to move on the bus from where she was sat to somewhere else, and she chose not to, and she was arrested for it. Became very much a sort of figurehead of the civil rights movement. Had you been travelling on that bus,
what would you do?
Am I far from where I'm getting off?
So once again, you can't just nip out at the next stop so you can wash your hands of the whole affair. No, you're on that bus, you've still got a number of stops. You live further away than Rosa does because you've got a lovely big house, whereas obviously she doesn't have a lovely place, she can't afford it. So you've got to stay on that bus. You've seen this now, you've seen this bus driver demanding that she gets up, gives up that seat. Maybe she's giving up that seat for you. Maybe you've got on that bus as a privileged white man and she refuses to get up on your behalf.
I'd probably go, it's alright, I'm standing, I'm alright.
But why would you say that? Because you're thinking of the modern day car, you're not thinking of the man from the 1950s.
Well, the thing is, we don't have to go back in time. We can go to a country now where you'd see an injustice, where you were outnumbered by the law of the land. What if Suzanne wasn't allowed to sit with you on buses? What if now a law came in that women were second-class citizens and she can't come with you? Wouldn't you go, no, fuck that, she's sitting with me?
I'd say we're only going around the block. We've been to the shopping centre. We're only 15 minutes. Can you take that bag with you? Because there's no one sat next to you down here. I'm a bit crammed in up here. There's more blokes on the bus. I'll see you in a minute. It's not a big issue. I've done it on the train. Well, I booked tickets and they've ended up being different tickets. And I was going, I'll see you in an hour and a half. I've got an iPod.
So
you went first class and
but
she
that's,
was
but
in-
that's,
in the
but that's
vault.
luck. That's luck. That's circumstance. One is policy. Surely you can just see the difference between a principle and a bit of luck.
But it's what you get used to at the end of the day. I mean, I'm not walking past them and slapping them on the back of the head. I'm getting on, and it's just that's where they sit, that's where we sit. Like men and women going into a separate toilet.
Carl, let's put this to I mean, obviously, this is too much for your head to... You're on a bus, right, and there's a few white people, and
I'm the driver.
and they're being racist to a black kid.
Right, I go, if I'm driving, I'd go, listen, lads, stop that, will you?
If you're going to be racist, can you get off at the next stop and do it
Well,
there?
you know, we've all had a tough day. It's the end of the day. We just all want to go home. We've all been working. He's not in your way. He's sat in his own seat. Sit back. Calm down. Had enough.
But what if they said, no, we usually sit there, we want that seat? Would you think the black kid's a troublemaker? Or just would you go, come on, just move, mate, it'd be peaceful?
I'd go, what do you want to do? Do you want to move so this is calm down? Or
No, you shouldn't say that. He doesn't matter if he wants to move or not. It's his right not
Right.
to move.
Do what you want, then. If you want to stay there and fight your own...
No. He
Once
wants
again-
to stay there. Don't you have... Surely you want to be on the side of right.
I'm just doing my job here. I'm sat driving a bus. I'm driving a bus for 30 quid a week here. I'm getting a load of grief off some people at the end of the
but
day.
think bigger than the bus rule. It's not just a bus thing. Right? Just imagine that you're not a bus driver. Alright,
No, but that's what we're talking about here.
But yes, but Ricky's trying to make a point. It's an analogy again. It's about you taking some kind of responsibility that could
You
put
must
you in
know
harm's
what-
way.
yeah.
That could mean that you've got to stand up to danger or to bullies or to aggression.
If someone's attacking Suzanne, she goes, Carl, help. You go, no, I
Of
could
course
get
not,
her here.
because I know the full story here. But this is what I'm saying
What
about
do you know the full
Rosie.
story here?
Rosie, what's it? I'm just saying, she sat on the bus. How did it work?
I'll
She
tell
got
you
on the
how it
bus.
worked.
She sat where she wanted.
No, I'll tell you how it worked. The middle section of the bus, black people could sit there, but it was up to the driver's discretion to change where black people could sit, depending on the number of white passengers that got on. So she sat in a seat, so more and more white passengers get on, so this bloke decides, well no, actually this is no longer the black section, there's no black section, because there's enough white people, you've got to stand up. And she decided, no, I'm not going to get up. It's my right to be able to sit on this bus, as a person, as a human being, not whether or black or white. And that was why she got arrested.
Well, she lost in the end, didn't she?
What do you mean she lost in the end? There's a black president.
Yeah, but it's not because of her getting on a bus. That's just because times changed.
Yes, in a way
Well,
it is.
I don't know.
Because
It
she
is.
became a spearhead of the civil rights movement that was
had a-
spearheaded by Martin Luther King.
All those little things go towards change.
On a different bus, on a different day, it might not have turned out that way. That's what I'm saying. It might have been, you know, someone else who goes, get off, who's been in the right mood, might have been in the pub all afternoon. And she's there going, I'm not moving, and he's fed up, he's up to here with it.
Sorry,
He's
so
been
she's
working all
pissed
week.
up now.
She's pissed up now.
No, the
been watching
person
the
sat
rugby.
next to her
Yeah.
might have even been a black bloke. He's been working hard, and he's like, I don't want this.
But it's interesting you say
The
that.
bus pulls over, the police are called
But
in.
you say this, it's interesting you say that because in the Rosa Parks incident, there were a number of other black men, all of whom did stand up. I think 5 of them were there, and 4 of them stood up, and she stayed sat down. So there was 4 people there who did choose the easier route, the easier life, and she stayed sat down, and she's the one who went to prison, and she's the one who's remembered because of what she did on that day.
It's difficult, isn't it? If I was on there, I'd weigh her up. You know, is this woman doing this as like a good cause, or is she just a trouble causer? Because she just seemed like, you know, I'll do what I want. Now that's fine. You'll always get people who do what they want, and they do change the little rules along the way. But I bet when she was doing it, it wasn't like a big stand up. This is the day I'm going to do it. It's just happened to. She was fed up that day. She didn't want to get up. Lazy. She might just go around law breaking all the time, and she's remembered now because she'd made a change about bus seats. Well, when she got up that morning, did she say I'm going to do that, or has she been fly tipping before she got on the bus? This is what I'm saying. Is she just you know?
No, she's not a troublemaker. She's someone who already had a burgeoning interest in the civil rights. I mean, I really thought the Rosa Parks incident was pretty cut and dry.
It's-
The
yeah.
fact that Carl's managed to find an ambiguity in it is extraordinary.
I love it.
Tell me something else about Rosie Parks.
Oh, for God's sake, I don't know what she's got to do to win you round, Carl. Honestly, I didn't realise it would be this difficult.
Carl, Thomas Jefferson, you know who he is, once observed, a nation as a society forms a moral person, and every member of it is personally responsible for his society. But Jefferson's fellow countryman, as you know, the American writer and intellectual Randolph Bourne, noted some years later, society is one vast conspiracy for carving one into a kind of statue it likes and then placing it in the most convenient niche it has. So one saying, no, this is why we're moral people. The society is great for us. It turns us into responsible people, okay? And we should love that society and make sure it's perpetuated. But Bourne said, no, it's just a way to mould someone into what it likes and put it into a little box so it can't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's not, again, it's...
No,
Which one are you getting to?
both of them are right.
Both of them are right, but they contradict.
They're both opinions.
There's certainly opinions.
But I mean, I don't know why I am the way I am. It just happens, doesn't it? You know, I don't like killing a fly. No one would stop me if I did. But there's something in me that goes, don't do that.
Right, so this is a very important theory, because you're basically saying, well, you could be saying one of two things. You could be saying that goodness is innate.
Not likely.
No. Or he could be saying that there's a morality that transcends rules and society pressure. Whether or something's legal or not doesn't mean that you have to do it because it's legal, and
That's
it doesn't
what
mean
I
you
meant.
don't. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that the one you meant?
That's what I meant. There was a bit of trouble in our yard the other day
Right.
between a wasp and a cricket.
No, the thing is there any point to this at all, or are you just going to tell us you saw?
Are you going to
what-
extrapolate some analogy from this?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
let's
see. So there's a wasp.
Yeah, well, so look at that scenario. That scenario, right?
As you said, sorry, just to clarify, as you said, it was kicking off.
Right, okay.
What scenario?
So you're looking
I'm
out
there.
your window.
No, I'm in the kitchen by the
Right.
sink.
Yeah.
Washing up, we've got a new sink. We've got a dishwasher as well, but I said, well, I'll use a sink, we paid for it. Let's
Yeah.
give it a go.
So you're like a Luddite threatened by the technology. You're thinking your worth will be taken away, your reason in the world will be taken away by the dishwasher. So
little
no,
bit.
Suzanne, we've got a dishwasher, but I am going to carry on. You're going to need me. I want to show I'm needed.
I wanted to use it. It's like, I don't understand that if someone's got a really nice car but they have a chauffeur, drive it, it's yours, enjoy it, enjoy your car.
Well, I
Feel
use
a gear
car-
change, but you don't drive.
No, I know.
Yeah, so that's alright. But what I'm saying is, I've got a sink, I've got a dishwasher. What am I doing? If I put the dishwasher on, what am I going to do? I'm just going to sit down and do nothing. Probably. Wash up then. Do something useful. I do a better job than the machine does.
Well, get rid of the machine altogether then.
No, because
Why?
sometimes I might want to go for a walk or something.
Why don't you go for a walk all the time? It's good for you.
I've had a walk in the morning. Anyway, so I'm washing up.
That was all the prelude to the wasp and the cricket story. It better be fucking good to top that.
His life's so complicated. For a man who does nothing at all, right? His life is so complicated.
No, because it's the same thing. The kitchen's fairly new.
All right,
I
you're
just
washing
wanna-
up for
Okay,
Christ's
right.
sake.
You're
wanna
using
give
a
it a
new
go.
sink. The dishwasher's there. It's not doing anything. It's not even plugged in. It's
Wait,
right.
the kitchen door's open.
Right.
Suzanne says, "Oh my God, look at that!
What?
There's a wasp and a cricket having a wrestle." I've never seen it before.
Wait! Are you sure this wasn't Mexican television and it actually was a sporting
people
event?
dressed up.
Yeah.
So they're there wrestling, and I was like, "Well, stop them then." So
Stop! Whoa! You don't interfere with fucking Rosa Parks. Why are you interfering with a wasp and a cricket?
because one, I didn't even know they didn't get on. To be honest,
So this is much bigger metaphor than black and white.
because listen-
this is more important than apartheid and segregation, Tim.
I didn't even know they didn't get on. To be honest. Because they were sort of wrestling. I said, and my hands were wet, so I couldn't do anything. I always overdo it with the fairy liquid.
Yeah, sure.
So she's there. I say, separate them.
Poor Suzanne!
So she uses a tea towel, flicks them.
Flip. Clever. Good
Right.
thinking.
The wasp goes its own way. The cricket's sort of jumping about a bit.
But who was fighting it?
So I'm sort of saying that is really weird because wasps are changing quicker than anything else that I keep my eye on.
Okay, well that's just your theory and it's not based on
Well, I
anything.
told you a couple of years back I saw one eating chicken. They shouldn't be doing it. So anyway, so now they're causing trouble with a cricket.
Whoa, how do you know it was the wasp fault? This is prejudice. Why do you think it was the wasp fault? What if the cricket would have started it? What if the cricket's got a society to go, we hate wasps, we hate their stripes. We hate them. If they come here, fight them. If everyone comes down here, fight them. How do you know it wasn't the cricket that started that?
Well, I suppose at that time I didn't, but since...
Oh, subsequent information.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay,
So anyway,
Like Columbo, isn't it? We saw it.
so I saw all that, we broke it up, the cricket was sort of shaking a bit.
Definitely not! Definitely not!
It was shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
So I sort of prodded it, put a little leaf over it because it was a hot day. Thought I'd put a leaf there so it doesn't get overheated.
I love
I'll
this,
keep an eye
like
on
it's
it.
done the marathon. It's got Mars on the leaf, written on the leaf, and now it's just walking over the little medal.
So Suzanne, I'd leave it for a bit.
Leave
Get
it.
on.
What did
About
you
half
say?
an hour, about left it for half an hour.
What did Suzanne want to do? She wanted to interfere, did she? What did she want to do? Just sort of like...
No, she just sort of said leave it, stop messing with it. It's probably a little bit knocked out, a little bit stunned.
Sure, let's
Right.
get on with our lives, she said. Yeah.
So I put the leaf on it.
You've got in too much very liquid. Why don't we use the dishwasher?
We go.
It's just 400 quid, you dopey bald cunt.
So we go off, and half an hour later I get back in. I said I'm going to go on to the
Where'd you
cricket.
go? Where'd you go?
Just for a walk.
But hold on, why didn't you put the dish in the dishwasher and go for a walk? I don't understand. So now now as a dishwasher sitting there bone idle, you're washing up when you could be walking, and then you're still
Well, it's a
walking.
good job I didn't go for a walk though, wasn't it? Because how would that have turned out?
That fight.
I don't know.
There would have just been a
So
pull
anyway,
on your back door.
So I've been out, back in, have a look. Cricket's still there. Noticed one of its legs gone.
Oh,
Don't know if the wasp did that or the tea towel flick.
or it was already disabled, and that's why the wasp thought this is an easy one. What if the wasp was helping it?
It wasn't, no, honestly.
What
It was such a
Mr. Wasp,
commotion.
because we're such friends and humans don't understand us, and anyone interfered would definitely don't understand us, right? He's not an entomologist,
Well,
right?
this is when I got the computer out,
Right,
had a look, and it's a, what was it called? I
brilliant.
can't remember. What happened is, the wasp apparently does this a lot, and it stings them in the head.
Well, not this particular. There wasn't like a little profile of this particular wasp.
Yeah,
Or a kind of
It's just,
police
it's just
website.
an incident that
Just
happens a
generally
lot
happens within
between
wasps.
wasps and crickets.
Right.
So it stung it in the head, and what happens is, it's that whole thing that we've talked about before, where it lays an egg.
Right.
So I was sort of having a look, seeing if I could see any sort of holes in its head, and it just kept sort of moving its one leg, like, oh, I can't handle this.
It
So
means moving his one leg.
it was sort of just moving its one leg quite slowly, like it's just
But
come
so
out
he got
from
one
an
leg, but he's
operation.
lost one leg, you said?
Yeah, it's lost one.
Yeah, he's moving 5 legs slowly.
No, it's just this one big one.
He's got one big leg.
One big leg at the back now. It's normally got 2 that it uses to jump.
Oh, I see, so, okay.
So it's now it's
Right.
only got one. It's sort of like, oh, it looks groggy.
Is it not a grasshopper if it's jump? Is it not? What colour is it? Is it like...
Sort of beige.
Oh, it's probably a cricket, yeah.
So anyway,
It's important.
So you were worried that crickets aren't aware of the dangers of wasps. You did a bit of leafleting amongst the cricketing community.
I just had a look online and saw that, it's a popular thing that happens. It's sort of like a bit of a mugging. He said you can leave them for about half an hour. They normally come round and they don't know they've had an egg put in their head. But
There's no way it said leave them for half an hour and they come round, they don't have a head, but there's no way it said
well, he
that.
said they normally stun for about half hour.
Have you had an egg put in your head?
Fucking ostrich egg, by the way, it's coming out the top.
So anyway, so I picked it up, I placed it under a little tree. I said it's in the shade again. No wasps can see it there. Let's just leave it.
But you've just left that cricket to now die in agony when that maggot goes round his head and comes out a wasp and leaves the carcass.
Well, this is when Suzanne came up and said it wasn't moving. I sorted it.
What do
You
you mean?
sorted it.
She sorted it.
What
You
do you
wanna
want
say
to do?
anything
What do you mean?
Well, I said, what do you mean you sorted it? She said,
Read
it's
between
best
the
that I
lines.
don't tell you.
Right, sorry,
I've done.
sorry. But,
She said she sorted it.
wait. Do you think that we're in the mafia and we're being wiretapped? Say what happened.
No, well, she just said she sorted it, and I said, what, sorted what? Because I'd forgotten about it at that point, I was painting. And she
Right.
said the cricket.
Right, what do you think she meant by sorted it?
Well, by the look on her face, the way she said it, I've known her for long enough, so I know that she meant it's not good news.
Yeah, so what happened?
So from that, I took for granted she means
Say it!
I've stopped it being, it's no longer in misery.
So what do you mean?
What?
What did she do?
She crushed its head. because she said it was
What,
moving about
specifically just the head? She just crushed the head.
with a stone.
She got a tiny head-shaped stone and
Squashed it, because that's where all the action is, isn't it? So she said it was too cruel watching it, sort of shaking about with its one leg and stuff. You had to kill it.
I imagine I had this vision that one day Suzanne just having to say to his parents,
I've sorted it.
I sorted it. I had to put him out of his misery. I just couldn't bear to see the
don't
twitching
like to know,
anymore.
do you?
I know you didn't like to know, but
Yeah.
I just took a rock.
Yeah, and just squashed its head. What was in it? There was nothing in it. It just caved in.
Was there an egg in it from a
No.
from a
It was
wasp?
like you know when you would get a blown egg and then you'd crush it and there was nothing. Just, yeah, nothing in it at all.
I just think